Alright everybody, what's going on? Today is January 13th. We're going to be looking here at the SPY, just kind of documenting my trades. We're going to be waiting patiently here for the 9:45 candle. We're going to be patient and not get too excited because we want to wait for a 5-minute low to be formed. And then we also want to wait for a, let's see, get that 5-minute low in there. Let's go down to a 1 and just get these lines more accurate. So we're going to want to measure the low of the 35 and also the low of the 45. This is going to give us an idea of potentially what levels we could look to interact with. So on the day, we noticed that we did gap down, form a gap. I marked out our opening bar lows and also our pre-market highs here. We do have a imbalance point right here that looks like we may get a bounce according to this one candle. So as you guys can see, we are underneath the 9 and the, let's see, I have these EMAs set to 18 and 12. As you guys can see, the price action so far, let's check the Qs. Q's looking a little bit more bearish. As you can see, we're starting to break these lows here potentially. There we go. On the Qs, check the SPY. So the price action today, let's pull up both the Qs and the SPY here. Watch them both at the same time. Get this on a 1. Actually, let's get this on a 2. And then let's just throw these on there. So you can see what's going on better with the Qs. So as far as the SPY goes, nothing too crazy so far. We do have this one candle right here. We are showing signs of reversing. What the fuck was that? But patience is not about how long you can wait it, but how you behave while you wait. The difference between winners and losers is how they handle their losses. So in this trade today, guys, we're just going to be looking for a really clean area to manage our risk. And as you guys can see, the Qs are reacting a little bit different here than the SPY. Let's check the heat map, see what's going on with the heat map. Wow, we got chips down, SMCI down big time today. Holy crap. Moderna down 22%. Holy. Let me check that out real quick. Holy mackerel. Look at this, guys. Moderna is down huge today. Look at that. Whew. Wow. Okay. What else is down? SMCI. Let's go to a 4. Okay, we are breaking here on SMCI. Pretty big imbalance. You know what? I'm just going to stick to the SPY and just stick to what I know best, honestly. I'm not really going to mess around with anything else today, honestly. So we did get our 5-minute low in, which is right below this imbalance area right here. Let's go ahead and delete this line and get our 5-minute low in here. That's our 5-minute low. And this seems like it's going to be our 5-minute high right up here, guys. Right at this, right in this imbalance area. Now, what I'd like to see is, and we're going to be patient. Right now, I don't see any fresh areas of supply coming in yet. So what we want to see is equal highs here, and then we want to see a move up to this area, okay, up into this area of this candle. I'm going to go ahead and mark this candle out too. just so we kind of know. I'm going to change the color of this to yellow. This 576.89 level seems to be a pretty key area. And then we're also making our 5-minute high up here, right there. Go ahead and change this back to black so it's easier to see. So what I'd like to see is some type of imbalance. Let's see if we can manipulate out these lows and then come back up to trade up into this imbalance area and then form another fair value gap, and then we'll look for an entry potentially outside or at the 50% level of that fair value gap. But the key is here, guys, just to be patient. The Qs are starting to show some signs of momentum to the downside. Let's check. So we are breaking the 5-minute low here on the Qs, but not quite on the SPY just yet here. Just be patient, guys. No need to rush into anything. Let's keep an eye on the VIX too, because we might want to see a spike in the VIX here. Once we do, that could be a good sign. As you can see, it is starting to spike on this bar right here. It looks like we're looking to come down to manipulate at these lows. What we're going to watch for here, guys, is what happens in this area. Okay, we're going to notate the price action. We've got 9 seconds to close. As you guys can see, this candle was met by buyers right at this low. So it's important to be very patient at these levels and not anticipate. What we want to see is a strong break with a volume bar coming here. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the broker just in case. Let's see here. SPY. We're not going to rush into anything yet, guys. But I'm just going to go ahead and get the options pulled up here. The puts already are up like 100% on the day. So let's just keep an eye on that. I'm going to get one of these loaded up here and just kind of see what we're looking at here. We're going to go in market in here, or available not yet. All right, guys, so we're going to wait and see what happens here. What we're looking for here is a strong candle close here below these lows. Okay, once we see a close potentially right at this level, right at the pre-market lows, then we can assume that we may start to go lower. But as you guys can see, it's extremely important to notate this price action. You see how on the close of the candle we got the wicks right at here at the 5-minute low. All right, we did get an imbalance right here though, so we got another imbalance that we traded into, and there's also another pretty big imbalance right here as well. I'm going to go ahead and mark that out, another 1-minute imbalance. So we're coming up into that right now. We could potentially look to go lower. Let me just go ahead and fix that. There we go. All right, so this imbalance, we're going to try to find a 50% retracement of this imbalance here, and see if we can maybe reject off this. Doesn't mean we're going to enter, but just a potential rejection. As you guys can see, we did rebalance and we're kind of wicking back down, but still no bearish volume confirmation or price action yet. We want to wait also too for this 15-minute low to be established. Not get in too early, because if the 15-minute low is breaking and the 5-minute low is breaking, that's a really, really good sign. What we'd want to see is this act as a balance area, this 570-550, which is an extremely key level, psychological level. So I'd like to see some displacement down and then a rebalance at this level, and potentially a move back down to here. So we're going to wait patiently. There's still no reason to get too excited. Just breathe. There's no reason to get excited. Just be patient. You'll know, okay? I'll know when everything is good. Right now, it's just a mess, okay? One thing I want to notice is that we are still closing below on the 2-minute here. We're still spread wide on the moving averages, so we could see a break here any minute now. But that does not mean that we're going to get in right on the break. Okay, as you can see, the VIX is starting to spike. What we would want to see on the VIX is a close above this 2150 level here over there. All right, so we're going to want to wait for that patiently. And we're going to want to wait for a retest of this level here on the VIX. That would be nice to see. We want to wait patiently for the market to rebalance here, guys. Look at this. Look at these price action wicks right here. All this demand. There's all this demand sitting right here. So we need to take out these stops. And then we need to manipulate back up to be able to take out this liquidity up here. There's a ton of liquidity sitting up here. And there's also a potential area to measure risk off this major imbalance up here right at 9 a.m., this 9 a.m. imbalance candle. All right, so let's just be patient for the break. There's the break right there, okay? But the break happened at 45 seconds, so we're definitely not going to enter in off that, okay? We need to see the candle close, all right? And you can see if you were to just get in and be impatient right there, you're going to get stopped out. We're immediately back into the range there, okay? Let's check on the Qs, see what the Qs are doing real quick. So the Qs are showing a little bit of better price action today. You already have displaced below the lows here. It seems like we're going to start to get the close here on the SPY. And really what we're looking for, guys, here is a imbalance to form. Okay, and it seems like it's not going to want to. And as you can see, yeah, that was a really important moment right there I just recorded. So as you guys can see, right as the candle closed, look how it just manipulated right back up into the range. Like I said, it's going to manipulate, take out these lows, and then shoot right back up, right? It's going to shoot right back up, maybe to this rebalance area right here, okay? And if it closes above this rebalance area, then it's definitely not. Okay, now what we want to see here, guys, we want to be very patient, all right? We're going to want to see, I have a picture of the model right here, actually. I think it's right here. So this is what we want to see right here, guys, is we had that manipulation of the lows, and then we're going to come back up into this imbalance to then trade back down lower, all right? You can see that this is a pretty common pattern, all right? This is what I was actually looking at yesterday. Let's go back into trading view here. So there we go. There's our imbalance right there. And we are trading back up into it right now. And look at that candle, man. Whew. Wow, that was brutal. You would have got screwed there. Okay, so we did establish our 15-minute low. We would like to see it close below both of these. And then a rebalance kind of in this area. We just want to kind of take note of this too. Let me make this yellow. And then also we need to be paying attention to what's going on over here, guys. So we're going to want to see, obviously this is a massive candle. And thank God, guys, look at the patience that you had to have had. Look how they tried to trick you there. All right, you can't rush into these trades just because it's breaking the lows, okay? Now, we are breaking the highs, but I've yet to see any type of constructive retest. Okay, that looks like a potential important candle right there. Yeah, that does look like this could be a potential gap candle. As you can see, we've manipulated right now to take out this liquidity up in this area, and we're probably most likely going to trade back down and then rebalance kind of somewhere up here off one of these supply candles that just came in to knock out. You can see what they did. They knocked out here, and then they knocked out here, and now we're obviously imbalancing right back down. Okay, so this is a potential area to be looking to find an entry. We want to make sure that it's a clean model. All right. Here, let me get rid of OBS. What we want to see, guys, is this massive sell bar and then some type of bearish candle structure coming here. Also, we want to see potentially another, let's see, go back to this. We're at a really key moment right here. Okay, so we did get the imbalance. I'm going to go ahead and remove this and then add this here. All right. So we've got our, let's wait for this candle to close, guys, because it could shoot right back up. So let's just go ahead and measure that imbalance right there. Because if this imbalance ends up staying here and we end up, this is the high, we're going to want to wait for this range to retrace here at the 50% level. So that would be right about there. We want to see price to continue to move down here and then potentially show us that we're going to go lower off that imbalance right there. Pretty clean model. You know, now the price action looks a lot more clean on the SPY. So if we can go ahead and if we can close below this level here, and as you can see, we just retested it. We could potentially go lower here. Let's just go ahead and get our risk measured here from this area here, guys. And then we're probably going to want to target at least down to this candle here. This was a potential entry right here. Let's wait for the candle to close, guys, before anything, all right? Before making any decision. Because we don't know what this is going to do, right? We do not know what this is going to do. So the key is just to be patient and to react when the time is right. All right, so if we can get a close below here and okay, you see how we're going back up, and if we close above this model is no longer valid, okay? All right, we're going to be patient here, guys. All right, the key is to protect the capital. All right, we don't want to just enter in for no reason. And as you guys can see, this would have been a not good trade. We did end up, really the stop should be like right here, guys, honestly. Because if your entry is at the 50% level, if we start to retrace back above into this, outside of this gap right here, then, and we're closing, I mean, that's really all you should be taking on. And this is really the invalidation. Okay, so now you can see that that this candle here, if we don't close below this is technically an invalid model. Okay, so we did close below, not yet. Okay, we did not. So we did not close, but we did manipulate right there. They try to get you excited right at the last couple of seconds before the 1 minute candle. And as you can see, if you would have entered in on that, you would have been stopped out. All right, so not the best. It was good that we practiced self-control on this model. All right, we did wait. And we're still going to use this, all right? We're still going to use this. It looks like that we're showing some really good rejection candles here. But what I want to see is that bearish confirmation, guys. I want to wait until the price is telling me, like, okay, we're definitely... I mean, as you guys can see right here, let's go to a 2. And let's get onto a 2 because it seems very manipulative right here. All right, so let's just go back and kind of see. It's hard to see on the 2. But we want to pay very close attention right here, guys. You see how we're closing below this now? There we go. All right, but it's still kind of unclear. Also, I noticed here, guys, check this out. The moving averages have crossed. They have crossed. I almost entered in without paying attention to that. I'm not going to lie. So it's important to watch the moving averages. As you can see, we're starting to roll over here. I do like these wicks up here showing rejection. I don't know though, guys, because if we do rip up over here and we close, it's just going to be a very quick loser. I'm not interested in it right now. Not with these wicks. I'm not liking it really. So what I'd like to see is a close below this candle right here. That's going to be our invalidation point for the bullish price action. All right, as you can see, we're not going above. Okay, so, and as you can see, we are. This is a mess. This is a mess, guys. All right, we did not want to see this right here. So this is the crossing over the moving averages. So that decreases the probability of this model actually working. And if you come over to my Obsidian book over here, you can see that in these models here, the price did close below, or we did get a move, but then we will have to wait. Okay, let me also throw let's watch this here, guys. Let me throw the 200 on and just kind of see where we're at here, if we're near any, oh, not 2,000, 200, and to see if we can have any. Yeah, see how we let's go to a 2, and as you can see, we're kind of running right into the 2. All right, so we're gonna also, I do see another imbalance area up here on the 2. Let's see. This could be a real fine micro area up here. I see another imbalance potentially up here. And let's go back to the 1. You can see we are above the 200 on the 1. So we're definitely going to want to close below that for this to be, although I'm not liking it, guys. It's just not very clean right now. I'm not really liking it. Yeah. We need to see a close below the 200. If that could happen, then maybe. But yeah, it's good that we didn't enter this trade. We remained patient, waited for the model, and let's just go ahead and set an alert on SPY and check what the rest of the market is doing. Crossing this level, sure. And as you can see, let's just see what's going on with the heat map here, guys. So things are starting to recover, it looks like. Moderna, we got Dell down. A lot of tech down today, guys. Overall, kind of a mixed day. But the only thing that I see is these healthcare stocks are down huge, especially Moderna. We're going to have to look into that later today and kind of research what's going on with that. Let's check on... one thing I wanted to check on was this company, EXN, or EXIN. What was it? It was an electronics company or a power company. Oh yeah, in Utes. It was in Utes, guys. EIX. It's down. It's still going down. Wow, guys. This stock right here is just absolutely plummeting still. I mean, look at the past couple of days, guys. Holy mackerel. Talk about a massive break below the 200. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm not going to lie. It looks like it's still moving lower, which is just insane, honestly. I'm not going to chase it, though. We're going to try to protect our capital, guys. I have no idea what the spreads are like on this. But, okay, this is what's going on here. Where's my drawings? There we go. All right, guys. So as you can see, we did. This is our 15-minute high up here. Okay, so we're gonna want to wait for a retest here at this level, because this is not enough. Okay, just because the price is going like this does not mean it's enough. As you guys can see, this would have worked out perfectly. This was the invalidation area, and if you didn't have a stop, it would have just kept going on you, right? We look how much it would have. That's what I was saying earlier, guys. Like, if it's not a guaranteed setup, then just why even take it? Honestly, it's just stay in cash, go do something for the day, or go research the market. There's no reason to sit there and take bad trades. As you can see, we were supposed to come and fall here, right? This was the level right here that we should have closed below, but we didn't, right? Right at 951, this told you right here, okay, all right. Like, we closed here, we're closing, okay, you can make the assumption that if we just closed here, then the probability of this closing above is extremely high. Okay, so in these two candles right here, you could have known, all right? Both of them are bullish. You can see the rejection off the lows and the close at the high. Okay, and same thing going here, right? It is still going up. All right, good thing we did not buy in. Good thing we did not rush a trade, guys. Never ever rush a trade if you don't have to. Okay, now let's start looking for what I'd like to start to see here, guys, is like a greater liquidity sweep going on here. It looks like that we're starting to move back into the gap from this morning, which is normal. So as you can see, we're trading into this gap now, this massive rebalance area. So the market is probably going to at least gap fill. Let's mark out this level right here, guys. This is key. We take the 50% level of the actual gap that the market left open. So, and that, as you can see, aligns perfectly with a psychological 579 level. All right, so let's just watch that, guys. Pay attention to this. This could be a potential area of interest for a short. So let's just be patient. You know, what we're going to be looking for today, guys, is that, you know, right at 10 a.m., which is coming soon, so we would not want to be in a trade right now, is just some type of confirmation. All right, like some type of confirmation, like, and we want to be able to measure our risk properly, right? But we don't want to, as you can see, that's why I threw that 200 up on there on a 3, because, you know, and as you can see, we are, you know, the moving averages started to close above. The moving averages did cross. They are crossing, right? So we want to see this, you know, if we're going to be in puts. All right, it looks like that we might start to form. We could push a little higher. I think that we are going to push higher here. Let's just see. I'm not too sure what we're going to do. No one knows, actually. But as you can see, this very candle right here at 950, once that thing closed right there, you're out, guys. It would only took 2 minutes to know that, you know, this was not a good trade. Good thing we didn't take it. Good thing we didn't rush it. And, yeah, this is the whole point of trading, guys, is to just protect your capital, know your models. And, you know, this could have been a easy, very easy setup. This is what I love to see. I love to see a double bottom, a double top, manipulation below the lows, manipulation above the highs with an imbalance formed. And the key to entering a short here, guys, was that we closed below the 50% of the fair value gap. And we didn't. And as you can see, as soon as that area right there was invalidated, guys, I mean, I'll just get rid of that right there, my risk. But as soon as we broke above and closed, boom, we're off. Okay, so it's very important to, you know, be watching these and looking for these sell bars. Okay, and also let's see if there's any. I do see an imbalance right here. This could be a good potential long if we want to hold here. So that's a long zone. That would align with the retest of the 15-minute high. So if we can see a potential pullback down to here and a rebalance and a close above this fair value gap, above the 50% line, which does align pretty much perfectly with our 15-minute high, then we're going to potentially look to enter long, guys. You don't want to go in to the market, which, oh, I'm going to go short today, or, oh, I'm going to go long today. No, just pay attention to what you see, guys. Now, it's very important to just pay attention to what you see. As you can see, we are starting to move lower, which is expected, right? Let's just go ahead and throw a 9. I'm just going to go ahead and throw a 9 on, just to kind of see where we're at. And that's the 9 right there, guys. So we're obviously still above the 9. It looks like that we may start to form an imbalance here. But we also have to be very careful that we have these areas right here, okay? So we're going to be looking for a long right here, guys. We're going to want to switch to longs. And we're going to want to go in the money. Longs are down 40% today. So they are probably below the moving average. So we need to be careful here. The sentiment obviously today was bearish. And also that you guys can see we did have a little bit of a volume spike right there. But it was not on the break. There's no bullish. This is short covering, probably. All right, so we do see a fair value gap forming. Okay, there's that right there. Okay, we're coming back down to retrace here at the rebalance area. I may look to go long here, guys. And then we're going to put something like this. We're going to put our stop. Oh, here we go. We're going to do a long. And I would say I would put my long probably, we're gonna retarget here these highs, most likely. And we're gonna wanna put our stop right at the bottom here, at the close. All right, so that's what we're looking like here now, guys. As you can see, the bias quickly changes, okay? So you need to be precise with these stops. All right, let me go to the 2 and just kind of see. Okay, yeah, that aligns. Like, okay, once we close below this, then we're probably going to continue to go lower, right? All right, let's check on the VIX too. What's the VIX doing? Yeah, the VIX plummeted. It is starting to spike. But what we don't want to see is like just we want to just wait for the confirmation, all right? Just because it comes down here doesn't mean you enter, all right? We did have the imbalance candle, right? So I will just go ahead and mark that out. This is going to be our TP1, all right? TP1 is going to be here. If we do decide to retest the 15-minute low, okay? So this still offers a really, really good 5-to-1. All right, we're going to be patient on this, guys. As you can see, we just rebalanced off the 50% zone there, so we could put, yeah, it seems like we're going to start to move lower here because we did just rebalance perfectly off that level right there. So let's just keep an eye on it. Be patient. All right, let's be mindful of this area right here. And then I'd love to see, guys, because we have this bullish fair value gap right here. So we need to rebalance before going higher, right? So what I'd like to see is the price come down to here, fail to break, and then some bullish candles that continue to move up. But I'm not going to enter the trade here. I'm not. It's just not, the risk is just not in my favor yet. I've got to be patient, okay? The risk is in my favor when I can find the invalidation point. All right, and the invalidation point here, I'm just going to go ahead and set the risk to the close of this low, okay? Because once we start to break that low, then it's like, okay, like, you know, we're definitely going to probably continue to go lower. Let's just get a snapshot of what the price action just kind of looks like for the day, right? Like, we did touch into this area, but it's just not a clean retracement, not clean enough to enter, definitely not. So, you know, this is what price action is looking like today. Just a lot of liquidity grabbing. As you can see, there is this area right here in the pre-market that we did manipulate above. And seeing this model right here is really key. Let's see if we can spot any of the algorithms here. I do see that there was this selling algorithm that took into effect up here, right at 9. But as you guys can see, we manipulated and then, you know, obviously invalidated this algorithm that was right here, right at the open. All right, so obviously not too much respect on the price today, guys. It may just look like a day that we take no trade, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just go, this part of my rules, one of my rules is to just not hop into any random company that I just find, oh my God, this thing is still going. Oh my God. This company, this electric company is just absolutely plummeting. It's crazy. The options are just ripping, guys. Let's check the spreads on them. I'm interested to see the spreads on these, if they're even worth it, honestly. The options, the puts are already up only. The IV is probably crushing too, guys. The IV on this thing is probably crushing. So I'm not going to enter on these because the volume is probably plummeting. Yeah, and there's like a $30 wide spread, so I'm just not going to get in on this. You needed to be in before. So as you guys can see, it looks like that there was this other imbalance here. It was a more shallow imbalance. So as you can see, let me check this. You see how there was this imbalance right here and we closed above, right? So we manipulated, we closed above, we manipulated again, closed above, and then continued to move higher. All right, so this was the move we were really looking for right here, guys. But it just didn't go as shallow as I would have liked it to, and that's fine. All right, because it wasn't at the 15-minute level here. You can see that, So this is the model. This is what I look for, is these imbalance candles. And for price to respect the midpoint of these imbalance candles. And as you guys can see, this would have been what our stop looked like, all right? So it would have been here at the close of this candle, all right? And you need to wait for the candle to close. Like, just because it comes down here and it didn't close doesn't mean that you just get out, right? It needs to close below. And I would have most likely targeted these highs here, right there. This was a perfect 9 to 1. All right, so if you would have put in $100 on this trade, you would have made $900 back. Okay, that's how effective this model is. All right, this was a really good move, although it just didn't really follow my model, and that's okay. There's still a lot to learn. This, you need to take note of all the imbalances. Obviously, this was an imbalance, but this one was, and we could probably do like a fib. There's probably a way that let's check the fibs, guys. If my fib tool is even set up correctly, just from the high here to the low, like the manipulation move, which was here, is going to tell you, okay, like we're probably going to move to like a standard deviation, which we did. I need to study that some more today, guys. But as you can see, we did just take out the liquidity here. All right, so there was liquidity there, and we're starting to close below. Now, it is key to note that the moving averages are still stacked on top of each other. So as of right now, it's still bullish. And there is this little micro imbalance right here, right at 570.80 that we might push off of, but I don't think we're gonna. I still want to also add this imbalance area right here, just so I kind of know. And what we want to see is a retracement and a hold of this key level right here. Okay, this would have trapped shorts, right? Because shorts are getting into this, shorting this down back into the range, and then they pop it back up. And then they caught the shorts here. So the shorts would have their stop here. And what they did is they ran it back up, and obviously they're manipulating it right back down. So it seems like that we're starting to close. We could form a little bit of an imbalance here, guys. Like there's one right here. So let's just go ahead and mark that one out and see if we can interact with it at all. So there is that, another fair value gap, and there is an even bigger one here. That's potentially going to give us a move down lower, which I'm seeing right now. But, it is kind of late in the morning already. We're coming back down to retrace here. Okay, this is a really key moment here, guys. I think this is going to be a really, really key moment. Let's get rid of this. And let's just see what happens. Honestly, this level right here is extremely key. We need to hold to continue to go higher, which I'm thinking that it might break. Or this could be a potential another, I don't know. Just I gotta stop trying to guess, honestly, and just see what it's gonna do. We could manipulate back down here to retest. It looks like that's what's going on. All right, so we might trade back down into the range. We've got this level right here we want to pay attention to. All right, we're going to be looking for a retest here. We are starting to collapse on the moving averages here, but we want to wait. We want to just wait for these to fucking... Why would you get in puts here if these are still stocks? Just wait. Like, you know, I'm not missing anything. Like, just be patient, you know? And look how these moving averages are stacked right now. They're still extremely wide. You know, this is not where you want to get in because it's just too volatile right here. Look at how wide these are, okay? All right, so just... We are rejecting off the 50% level, and we could retrace back up. All right, but let's just wait and see. What we want to see is some type of rolling price action back up. And as you can see, we retraced and closed above, but and it looks like that we did retest this low here. So what I'd like to see, you know what, I'm still not going to enter in calls here because the moving averages are still stacked. So it's just not the most favorable, I'm not going to lie. But we may still put a trade on. We'll see. I want to watch this like a hawk, all right? We want to pay attention right here, guys. This 576 level. All right? So it's important here to realize, okay, you know, to go short isn't correct, all right? Because first off, the moving averages are still stacked. We're still above the 50% level of this move here. All right, we retraced, but I'm still not going to enter in because price action is still weak. I've not gotten the confirmation that, hey, we, you know, potentially could go up more. Like, so I'm just going to wait patiently for that and watch carefully. You know, the overall momentum is still bullish right now. We want to see this hold. And, yeah. Let's just, you know, this isn't the best day. That's okay, though. I'm just glad we're not forcing any shit trades, to be honest, because we still could rebalance here. There's a lot of imbalance on this move down that we could shoot right back up to. But there is also a lot of supply right here, guys. Look at all that supply. Okay, so I need to be patient. We could see a deeper retracement back, you know, and this could be an easy stop out, if you ask me. We could see a really deep retracement. Also because, you know, it's not looking good for calls right now. The model is, I'm not sure. Like, we did retrace there. That could have been a good entry. But it's still, you know, I mean, no, it's not a good entry because candle didn't close. Oh, I gotta remember that. Like, you have to wait for the candle to close. So you want to see some type of bullish candle. We haven't seen any type of bullish candle yet, right? If you even just switch over to the Heikin Ashis, like, we can see some pretty alright, like, decent price structure. And we're getting a bit of a deeper pullback. So we're making a lower low. So what I'd like to see here, guys, is a higher high be made. Okay, that's what I would like to see. Or, I'm sorry, a lower high. A lower high being made. And as you guys can see, here we go. It looks like that we may stop out. And you can see. Now, once we close below this, you must wait for this candle to close. You don't just get in because of this. Right? So the decision making is made every approximately 1 minute on the dot. Because that's the time frame that you're on. So you need to be making decisions every 1 minute. And it's just not the time. As you guys can see, if you would have got in, you would be fucked. You know, I would not. Look at that. Boom. Stopped out. You're out. So I had a feeling that was coming because of this. All right. You can see how the moving averages are starting to tighten. And, you know, it's just not... It's just not ideal. And as you can see, I thought we would have that deeper pullback to come back and target and stop out this liquidity this massive liquidity zone right here where all these orders are sitting, right? So we're back down into the range, guys. I don't really see too clean of a setup today. We should have held right there, and we should not have been pinching like that. So that told me that, potentially we're going to go lower and it's not going to respect my stop. So, and obviously, we would have gotten stopped out there twice. We avoided 2 losers today. I mean, that's a successful day. We're protecting our capital. We're waiting for the correct moment. All right. What I'd like to see, though, still is some type of like lower high form here, like a manipulation, and also we have a couple of imbalance points, but the main one is going to be up here and also right over here. Just mark that out and see what happens when we get to this level. All right, this could be potentially a somewhat decent trade, and you guys can see how I measure my stops here. Like, you need to find these areas where you can really measure it out and know where your invalidation point is. Like right here, this invalidation point would be simply right here. If we close above here, it's no good, So if we can see this come back, potentially come back here, that would be an idea, potentially. But I'm not sure. I do like that the moving average are starting to pinch, so I kind of do like the idea of a put versus a call today. And also the market is just overall pretty bearish today, so that kind of aligns with the higher time frame bias and the rest of the market overall. So just going to pull up the puts and, not get too impatient. You see, we would definitely need to come up to this imbalance area here and just kind of see it. And also, one thing I noticed, guys, is that the moving average is faked out, right? So they didn't cross. And the move that we were looking for happened once we manipulated these lows here and we failed, okay? That's why it's important to wait for the bullish candle. Once you've seen the bullish candle, but this structure technically was still invalidated, if you ask me, because we did close below, okay? So I need to research that, okay? Do you wait for the next candle after the close? Or is that too risky? Because it could have just continued to plummet, right, guys? So, you don't want to. It did close below. That's the first sign. But it's, there's the manipulation candle, and then we did start to retrace here. Okay, so let's see here. It looks like that we may start to rebalance here. Let's just go ahead and mark this with a line so I can see it better. It's right about there, guys. So we're going to want to see this come a little bit farther up. And that's where we're going to measure our risk, right there. All right, so what we want to do is just sit here and wait. All right. We don't want to put in a bad trade. We also want to make sure that this is coming up to the 50%. All right. We don't want to get in on the 20 or the 50 or the 4 or the 10 or whatever. I'd like to see clean, accurate 50% rebalance retracements on these guys. I'd like to see them clean. Okay? So just wait. This could be a potential setup. There isn't much bullish imbalance until we get back down to here. There was a little bit of a gap right here, which we're coming back down to rebalance in. And as you can see, we are pulling up to our area. What we want to see, all right, is that, all right? See how it rejects right off that? All right, but we're going to want to be patient here for the next candle, all right? Because it could easily push up into our invalidation zone right here. Okay, you see how it did that? All right, but I doubt it's going to close here. So you say, oh, let me just hop in right now. I'll get it for cheaper. But we could easily just pop up out of here and it just can continue to run. So you need to be patient. All right. As you can see, we are respecting this invalidation zone. So that's one thing. All right. We are rejecting back lower. All right. So we could easily push back up. All right. We are still bullish on the moving averages. All right, we don't want to enter a short just yet. Okay, it could push down here, but there's still just a couple of things that I'm not really liking for a short. All right, this could easily push back up, and this is not the best. It's a 3-2, so the risk is wider on this trade. And we're starting to push down right now. The only thing that I don't like about this trade, though, guys, is that, the moving averages are still stacked in a bullish manner, so there's still potential momentum. Also, the VIX is not spiking. See how the VIX is plummeting? Okay. I mean, this could work. This could be a winner here, but I just didn't take it. I didn't take it. It's not the end of the world. I still think that it could manipulate back up and get, but we'll see. This is a good. I like this imbalance here. I like this bullish, or I'm sorry, this bearish, imbalance here to kind of see, and we are pushing down. This trade may be a winner. I didn't get in because I don't know. I just don't like the way these moving averages are stacked. I really don't. They could cross here. And it looks like this trade would have been a winning trade, which is good. I did not take it, though. I did not take it. And that would have been a winner, guys. You see how easy that was? You see how we waited patiently? That hit our profit target right on the dot. This would have been an easy 3-1. That's how you be patient, guys, and you find and you wait for the winners. All right? You see how we would have had very little drawdown, very little. All right? So, and once we came back down into this bullish imbalance right here, that's when it's over. So I just didn't. Just because you can predict where the price is going to go, doesn't mean that you should just enter in the trade. Like, just because, and we're going to start to push back down into the range, and when you're not, it's just, you get chopped up. We really want to be in shorts on a retest of the low, not breaking back down into the range. Like, yes, this is an imbalance here. Yes, we are moving down, but, and I also said earlier, I wanted to see a lower high, which is what we got here. I saw the state of delivery starting to change with these lower lows, and what you had here is you had a higher high and then a lower low, and then once we did, the next high is going to be a lower high. As you can see, guys, this would have been a really decent trade right here. I did not get in, though. And you can see now is when the moving averages are going to start to stack. This was a winner. Great trade. You see how we were patient for that? And, I could have entered. I have to get a little bit better at executing when I see something that's correct. But I don't know. I just didn't like it. It wasn't all there for me. It just wasn't all there for me. There was a couple of things that were there that were correct. But I just didn't like this. This could have easily just kept pushing, honestly. And, I got to protect my capital. It's just, we're probably going to make a lower low based on this algorithm right here. This is what I'm seeing right here, is that these lows are going to start to act like support. So you got to keep your eyes out for the algorithms. This would be the profit target right here. Great trade. What a great trade that was right there off that change in the state of delivery. Then you can see kind of where we're working with up here, this algorithm that we're in right here. Yeah, it aligns right there. That's the channel that we're in right now. So the profit target would be somewhere down like near here, right? But as you guys can see, this would have already been a winner. Obviously, realistically, you would have been selling into these lows. You would have been scaling out into those lows there. But this was a really solid setup. I mean, I liked it, but it wasn't 100%. We did see a couple of really key things, though, was that we had higher lows, higher highs, and then we had a higher high, but then a lower low. And then from the lower low, once we change states, okay, we want to look for areas where a potential higher high, or I'm sorry, a lower high could be formed, right? So that's there. And now the key to staying in this trade, guys, all right, is to wait patiently and to see, okay, we're not closing above this 50% imbalance yet. So, and it's not looking like we're gonna. So there's really no reason to sell yet to get out of this trade. The only way you should sell, so the stop would be right here, guys. If we close above this area right here, okay? You can get aggressive with this and move it really close if you start to see imbalances, but this is how you would stay in the trade. And you can see how it respects that right there. It's going to move lower, you know, so it's most likely going to trade all the way down here into this area. But yeah, I would still be in this. Honestly, there's no reason. Let me check. Where's my volume? Who's calling me? Fuck off. I didn't really see any type of conjecturing or like volume. That was honestly, as you can see, we're gonna start to, this would be where I would start to close here, honestly, on this scalp. But we are not closing, you know, maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Wait for the close. All right, you have 40 seconds to make a decision. Like, okay, if we start to close here, then all right, it's gonna reverse. It's that simple. Right at that low right there. Okay. As you can see, this method to stay in the trade works really well. Look at the bearish volume coming in. All right, we're getting volume coming in here. All right. Let's check the calendar. Is there anything going on today, or what's going on today? This is key, guys. I kind of started a little bit late this morning, which is okay, but I need to actually, before I take any trades, and this is why I kind of, oh yeah, we did have PPI today. Oh no news today. So Tuesday and Thursday, Wednesday is going to be key, guys. Key. This week is going to be key. That's why I didn't really want to put on any shitty trades today and just kind of wait for those news catalysts. As you can see, this is a winner. This was a great trade. Guys, this would have been a huge winner. Look at that. Just predicted it perfectly. I mean, and yes, we did crack right there, but I just didn't like this. I didn't like this right here. Maybe I should get rid of the moving averages. I'm not sure yet. It's just adding one more thing in there to fucking mess with how I'm thinking. But the thought process behind this structure was correct. And as you can see, we're still in the trade. Technically, we'd still be in the trade because we're not closing above this level, this 576.40. Once we break above that, then that's most likely when we're going to start to reverse. The profit target would be down here whenever we most likely touch this trend line, or we could potentially break below it, you know, so who knows? Really, who knows? So what we're looking for to measure where our invalidation point is, guys, is just looking for imbalances, measuring out the ranges, and then doing the same thing. Doing the same thing that we did up here, looking for the invalidation points. That's so important, is to look for the invalidation points. And for this trade specifically, it would be right here, 576.50, around psychological number. See how that works? Very simple. And, you know, yes, we're getting chopped up here, and, you know, but we're not, we may, yeah, okay, so it looks like we're about to close. Now we're invalidated. As you can see, with that timer coming, okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, we're out of that trade. So you guys can see, boom, as soon as it closed above here, look how we start to move, man. Look how we start to retrace. I would have had my stop right there. Actually, right here. My bad. And as soon as we break below this invalidation point, boom, we reverse. It's that simple. Now we could start to see a potential. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna bother to try to re-enter here. Although there could be another move, there could be another chance. I'm just not gonna. You know, I'm not really liking now. Like, I don't want to just rush into a trade because I didn't put one on. Like, there's really no reason to do that. But we will track this area right here for potential another move down lower. This would be my next area right here. There is a little bit of a wider stop on this. Actually, it's actually the same exact thing. Because you can see, like, if you would have targeted these lows here, that's how these measured moves play out, guys, is that once you're in a winner, you just use the same measured move. All right, this would have been a really good setup. You know, if this were me, I would have been done for the day. I really would have been done for the day. Let's just clean everything off and then just do a quick review of what went on today. So, as you guys can see, I saw my usual model of the double top, the double bottom, and the manipulation of the stops down here, and then the manipulation of the stops up here. We ended up moving down, displacing back down to the downside. However, we did cross the moving averages. So this told me, okay, we're probably going to start to move above the 15-minute low, which we did. At this point, we're making, you know, higher lows and higher highs, as you can see, all the way up to this point. And then once the state of delivery started to change, and you have this area here that we're rebalancing off of, which also is in this area right here. Okay, so we dipped back down into this bullish imbalance. This would have been a great profit target. This, right? Because there's a bunch of demand right there. So you could maybe potentially see another move to the downside here, kind of off that algorithm, like I said. We started to make a series of lower lows, and once we made this lower low, let me actually go back in time so I could kind of talk through what I was seeing. So once you see this, guys, the immediate reaction, and this is how they gather the liquidity to make it move lower. They trap people. You've got the node, right? You've got the volume node. It looks like we're collapsing, yada, 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 yada. But I noticed that, okay, we're making a lower low here. The next result of this lower low is most likely a lower high, potentially like in this area. And that led me to this volume bar right here, okay? So once you come back in and, you know, you retrace this area right here, that's where you end up moving lower, right? So once you have this, right, and you know, okay, the state of the delivery has changed, like, let's just be patient and wait for, you know, a lower high to develop, which it did right there. We pushed, faked you out, closed below, and then the bearish candle, and then that candle right there would have been perfect. Okay, so yeah, that was a really decent model. I like that model, although it wasn't totally correct. I'm not gonna lie, it was still a pretty decent model, but I don't know, I didn't really like it. We could start to move lower here, but I also noticed that there is this imbalance here, so we could bounce. The next step obviously would be a lower low, which is going to be the breaking of the range, which would probably cause an equal low, right? Because if you take the trajectory of this, by the time you push down here, you know, you're going to be at an equal low right at this range low, so As you can see, that would have been a loser, right? Good thing we didn't get in that. No reason to. This was the best model right here. There's something to learn from this, guys. You know, and since I didn't put a trade on today, that's okay. Listen, that's okay. I learned a lot. And at this point, at this late in the morning, guys, I really didn't see any good volume. The options aren't really moving much. Let me just double check them real quick and just kind of see what we potentially could have made on that move. As you can see, just look at the price, guys. It's just messy right now, so yeah, I mean, look at these puts, just garbage, honestly. Garbage price action on these. Like, they were only up for like 10 minutes maybe. See, this move was at 11:20 my time. Yeah, so really just not a good setup on the puts, really. Today there was no volume, no continuation. So I'm just gonna call it there, guys. Today, no reason to force a trade, no reason to put a bad trade on. All right, as you can see, we're starting to push out of here, and we're most likely going to push back up into this area up here. I didn't see any clean retests. This was a manipulation move. We failed below and broke above, which was manipulation to make the lower high for the continued move down. And as you can see, it came to our trend line perfectly. That's how it works, guys. Today is, let's see what today is. The January 13th, Monday, January 13th. As far as the calendar goes, we have an important week. Tomorrow we have PPI, and on Wednesday we have inflation rate month over month and year over year. And also Thursday and Friday we have some minor news, retail sales and building permits. All right, let's cut that out. All right, I'm sick of that. All right, so as you guys can see too, right, the VIX at this moment in time, it did not give me, okay, like, what is that? All right, garbage. You need to see the VIX like literally plummeting, or I'm sorry, spiking or plummeting, you know, and this is not it. Like, look at this chop right here, really no volatility. That's how you know there's no volatility in this move, right? Because if you look here, before I end this live stream, guys, I just want to talk about this, okay? You see how we're caught in a range here on the VIX? There's no volatility. All right, as you can see, we from all the way here to all the way there, we made no progress on the VIX. So that's why it's important to watch the VIX and just be patient with the market, guys. Let it do its thing. I do like this area up here, but I'm just not going to enter a trade because I don't like the volume today. There's no volume. So that's it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take notes and review this video, and we'll see you tomorrow.